right in the groove with making whoopee, and everybody is.
CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents
The Legend of Joeabb the Frog. A creek in the woods, wandering lost, ripples beneath the low-hanging moss, and carries fallen leaves for a ride. They swirl in the eddies, raft on the tides, and rush to and fro to the swampy lows, then slowly unfold in a pool of shadow. And only by chance do the leaves arrive at the hidden pond where Joeabb resides. Here the sunlight is filtered by shade of trees in the water, their trunks colonnade at the edge of the pond like sentries at guard, banishing all who would venture this far to spy on creatures asleep on the logs that swim in the cattails or slog through the bog, or perhaps the reclusive Joeabb the Frog, the once famous tenor, ghost of the fog. Leagues to the south as the blackbirds fly at a green lily pond in times gone by, a young Joeabb, just tadpoled a frog, soon discovered his gift from the fog. A beautiful voice, hauntingly tender, with range and power basso to tenor. Those who heard him were staggered with awe, and news spread quickly of Joeabb the Frog. Come evening, the pond was symphony hall. Crickets would fiddle, hoot owls would call, heron and egret swooshed the shallows, and frogs by the scores puffed their bellows. Birds of all feathers flocked the trees. Lightning bugs lighted the mist magically. A lodge of beavers thumped hollow logs, but all would go still for Joeabb the Frog. It seems he would sing to the night unaware that a throng of listeners had gathered there, and often his eyes would drift to his maid, a spotted she-frog he called Lily Jade, crooning sweet tones for her alone, as if his songs were a lover's poem. And after the throng of the gathered had gone, they'd snuggle together to wish on the dawn. Joeabb rejected the trappings of fame, refused the gifts, ignored the acclaim. Offers to travel and sing by the lake, though tempting, he thought tempted the fates. Until he was nudged by his own Lily Jade. With a goodbye kiss, he was whisked away. And night after night he sang for her sake, while millions listened around the great lake. The fog rolled in, his tenor voice soared, and those so impressed by this frog troubadour thundered a cheer that rippled the lake at the end of the concerts of Joeabb the Great. Each morn he vowed to the great beyond that soon he'd return to the green lily pond, where surely his mate ponders the dawn and lingers with fading stars to wish on. At the final performance, a fierce wind blew, and everyone looking for cover withdrew. Joeabb impulsively headed for home and wrestled the gales of the night alone. He arrived along with the calm of day, and met by the creatures who'd weathered the fray, he saw his pond completely transformed and heard cruel stories wrought by the storm. Heads bowed when he called Lily Jade, for she was swept by the hurricane's rage. Joeabb searched through the woods for leagues and refused to accept what the others believed. He swam the swamps and the waterways, journeyed farther and wider each day, and after months of the same on and on, he never returned to the green lily pond. Some say he's lost, others he died, fell in a cabin, buried alive. Some say he found a moonbeam of blue and climbed to the sky for a better view. But in truth, he repaired to this swampy glade, so cloistered by backwater bramble and shade, and began a song so incredibly strong that time itself refused to move on. When the mist comes from the trees beyond, he croons to a moon and a love that is gone, and endeavors to conjure his lily jade from the ghostly haze that glides the glade. Certain that when his voice becomes pure, she'll respond from beyond the misty moor. But the fog only drifts through his sad serenade, years into decades, and age upon age. Now 1,000 years have gone by. His voice, so pure, just a note makes you cry. And so the angels who bring forth the dawn were moved to tears by his woeful song. With a touch, they placed this hidden pond between the here and the great beyond, and nestled the souls of 2 little frogs, who live forever in love in the fog. On warm summer evenings while lying your bed, or rocking the porch with the stars overhead, you may hear a voice so incredibly pure you'll clutch at your heart in rapture assured. If you close your eyes and breathe the night air, you'll drift with a mist that lifts you to where a blithe little spirit sings in the fog, and you'll hum along with Joeabb the Frog.